Hello, everybody, and welcome. We are doing a live messages from Spirit today, and I welcome everybody who wants to be here. Thank you very much for being here. All you need to do to ask a message from Spirit is put your question in the chat. You do have to be a subscriber to put a message in the chat. It does cut down on trolls. So, um, anyway, hi, Stephanie. So good to see you. And Natha. Oh, wonderful. Thank you for being here. I want to just go over a little bit the difference between messages from spirit guides and tarot readings or intuition or using your intuition or tarot readings. And when we're using our intuition and tarot readings, we're more likely to get predictions. And when we're working with spirit guides, we're more likely to get advice, guidance, and insight, things like that. So think of spirit guides as actual guides. They're guiding you through life, they're helping you through life, and they want you to have the best um, life experience. So they want you to live the life that you want. So they're going to help you do that. Hi, Sita. So just know that, your best interest is at heart from any message you get from your spirit guide. And I always suggest that you work with your guide as often as you can. Now, by working with your guide, you don't have to channel them. You don't have to, you know, um, get amazing information and insight. Some people exaggerate how it works. But for most people, I think everybody has a connection into spirit. I think we're born with it, and that is our connection into divinity, into God, into grace, into all the lovely things that um, are miraculous about the heavenly realm. And then but we kind of, dull it, cut it off, ignore it, all that stuff because we are living our lives and being who we are. Hi, Liani. So good to see you. So since we're living our lives and being who we are, we tend to ignore our connection to divinity, but we have it. We all have it. And one way to build that connection without meditating or doing any kind of big practice is simply to ask spirit for help and ask them for help with everything from reminding you what you need at the grocery store to getting a great parking spot to planning your trip to feeling good every day, that kind of stuff. So, um, I always suggest as a very first step or a reinforcing step of getting to know your guides is to ask for help all the time with every single thing in your world, in your life, relationship, your health, your feelings, negative feelings. They can help you release them, process and release. I use it for that all the time, even, and you don't have to sit and get great messages, but always ask for help. The more you ask for help, you also build a bridge of trust between you and spirit, and then you become co-creators in your life. And it's an incredible gift to have, to be a co-creator with your spirit guide. I recommend it. All right, my loves. Well, I'm going to do today's live on today is Sunday, the blue moon. Happy blue moon, everybody. And it's a blue moon in Sagittarius. Uh, I was going to read a little blurb about that. Let's see what I had it pulled up and everything, and now I don't because that's how it is. Anyway, I guess I'm not going to do that. Um, but look up Blue Moon in Sagittarius and see what kind of messages you get from that. So, but I am going to start moving the lives back to Saturdays. I was originally on Saturdays, so it'll be noon Pacific time Saturday, and um, 3 p.m. Eastern time Saturdays. So I do want to try to consistently do Saturdays. It hasn't been that consistent these days, but I'd like to get into it because I really, really love connecting with you all and uh, having that encouragement and support, but also being able to share what comes through. It's and anytime you channel spirit, you are getting a little healing. So anytime you connect in, whether it's in prayer, meditation, or just asking for help, you're getting a little healing. You're getting a little boost of energy. You're getting a little help. So I love to channel and get my healing. All right, you guys. So you're welcome to ask your questions of spirit. And so, whatever questions you have. Now, one of the things that White Eagle has taught me repeatedly is if you don't ask the question, you don't get the answer. And we just wrote, uh, he just channeled an article that I absolutely love that I'm going to be posting on my Substack. And you can find me on Substack, and it's just at Janet on Substack. Or you could just kind of Google Janet Kadow and find me on Substack. But the handle that I use on Substack is just at Janet. So sometimes that comes up, sometimes it doesn't. Anyway, so I've just channeled a really wonderful article, and we're going to be doing a class on the topics of the article. So I hope that you can also follow me there and get that information there. So, who would like to ask a question of their guides? I only talk to White Eagle. He is my guide, my primary guide, uh, but he will talk to your guides and get the message. So, and the reason why is that sometimes I've found that when channeling other people's guides, it's not as clear, it's not as accurate, it's not as good a connection. So I have a great connection with White Eagles, so I stick with what I know. And okay, Stephanie, yes. My guides call your guide. Very good. Stephanie's question is, am I ready and capable of doing clearing, cord cutting, and bubbling up, protecting for others? Absolutely. But let me just see what the guides have to say. That's my opinion. Okay, hold on. Yes, White Eagle's showing me writing down a system that's comfortable for you, that's easy for you. Um, and they'll guide you through it. You're very tuned into your guides. I know you may not talk to them every day, but you will, when you set the intention and ask for help with how to do it, you'll get the exact method to use. Your method's going to be a little different from everybody else's. And also, uh, the other thing to really meditate on, focus on, and see uh, see what comes through is to ask why you want to, what motivates you, what your intention is. So for me, it was a long road to get to my intention as far as doing psychic readings and channeling and all the things that I do. I had to shift my intention over time. At first, it was because I wanted to be a famous psychic, which obviously that didn't happen. But it wasn't appropriate. It was a bad intention, and so I didn't get good information as long as I had that intention, I didn't get good information. As long as I had that intention, I didn't progress. And so I had to sit back and look at it again. It's like, is that really the reason? And then I had to reevaluate, well, why do I want to do readings for people? And then I had to narrow it down. So I want to do reading because it's fun, or I want to make money, or I want to blah, 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 whatever. I want to make it my job. So all that, right? So there's all these extra reasons why we do something. And then when it comes down to it, though, when we really get to the heart, the core of the reason, and it's the reason for everything, it's the reason we do everything, hopefully. And that is because it'll make us happy. So for me, the reason why I do readings is because it's fun and I love to do readings. The reason why I channel my guide is because I love working with my guide. And so it has to fulfill you. If you're doing something, and I know there's a lot of healers that have this intention, or the healers that, that work with spirit, or that, do Reiki or whatever, their intention is to save the world, or they feel like they're being called and it's something they have to do, they're of service to spirit, so they have to do it. And that mentality is what holds them back, because it's a drudge. It's not something that they want to do. It doesn't lift them up. So I always recommend, if you feel that way, go for it and see what it's like. Um, Most people that feel that they're being called to do healings aren't really into it. And once they start seeing clients, or, try to set up a space and do all the things you have to do to um, be a healer, an in-person healer, they're burnt out by that time. They don't really want to do it. They don't love it. So always, 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 whether it's in service to spirit or yourself or whatever, you have to love the act of doing it, or else it's, especially in the spiritual practitioner realm, or else you're just not going to get anywhere. There won't be any energy behind it, nothing to lift you up. There you go. Hi, Don. Okay. Uh, let's see. Wonderful. I think that's a great start, Stephanie. I think that's a great intention, is to help people and share the peace and tools I've found fantastic. And that's a great start, because if that's giving you joy to share what you know, then that's the thing. So always make sure it's going to lift you up no matter what. Okay? Good. That's the real foundation. So if you start doing it and maybe you're not getting clients, or things aren't really manifesting the way you thought, ask yourself again, why do I want to do this? And then realign and realign and realign. Okay, good work. Okay, Kalyani. Uh, you're welcome, Stephanie. Message me if you need any more support or anything. I'm happy to help. Okay, so going forward with your finances, see what they have to say. I know I'm wearing my glasses this time. It's like, enough of that. Okay. You are have a very good situation in life. This is direct from White Eagle, and you have all you need. I want you to. I understand that it may not be. Oops, my light just went out. Turn on this light. This. No, no. Okay. I understand that it may not be as it feels very shaky right now. Let's put it that way. It feels shaky, and it's hard to see how it will figure out. But there's an opportunity coming that will help you breathe easier and know that all is well. And this is not a temporary opportunity. This is a something that will boost your longevity in financial well-being. The opportunity comes around July-ish, July, August. Until then, I suggest that you sit in gratitude that you have all you have. Do a mantra to align with that opportunity. The mantra is I live in abundance every day. That is your mantra to help shift your consciousness to receive. Okay? Good. Okay. Yes, Spirit has a message for Nasa, and Spirit has a message for Dawn, and Spirit has a message for Sita. So let's start with Sita. I just want to look at your. I'm so glad you're doing better. What takes you through, you may not recognize this, but what takes you through life is your courage. You have never been brought so low as to be defeated. And that courage was very necessary through this last challenge. And it will need to be less activated, let's say, in the next few months. And actually for the rest of your life. But I want you to remember how courageous you are, and that facing the world as you have and the difficulties that you have had is your superpower. That being said, there are little gifts leading you into the next phase of well-being. And the way that Spirit is showing me is the like you're walking along a little wooded path, in a beautiful day in the woods, and you see little daisies on your path, and you pick it up and you walk a little more, and another little daisy comes, and another little daisy comes, and there you have little gifts leading you forward. And those little gifts leading you forward are taking you into a whole new phase of being that will be so something that you have been working for consciously or unconsciously your whole life. So know that the little things you do for yourself, the little gifts that come in, the little interests, Mm, they're like little morsels of joy coming in. And those little morsels of joy are leading you to something that will give you absolute joy. Okay? Very nice. You're welcome, Kalyani. Okay, now Dawn and then Nisa. Nisa. I see Nisa because that's a word that I learned. I think it's Seneca for moon, Nisa. So I keep saying Nisa, but I think it's Nisa, right? Nisa. Uh, so first Dawn, where are we? Okay. Message for Dawn. It I just want to say a little disclaimer that it does the message is the more broad the question, the more broad the answer, and the more defined or you know clear the question, the clearer the answer. So um, so I just want you to know that if it seems like kind of broad and generic when we ask that of spirit, it's because the question is not so defined, which is fine. And I feel like it can hit a chord and help you even so. But I just want you to know that. Okay. The clearer the question, the clearer the answer is what he's always taught me. I see you. He's showing me you singing, shouting to the heavens with a drum. You're beating the drum, and you're saying, you're really projecting your intentions and your manifestations, and you're calling it in. And it seems like no one is hearing you. It seems like no one is answering, but it is a process, and it is a process to bring in what you need. Ah, okay. It is a process to bring in what will bring you joy. It is a process to bring in what you're manifesting. And everybody's process is a little different, but they're showing me you singing. So that comes in number one. Okay. So if you're trying to choose a path, singing, and then there was something else you said, and it's okay that you're deleting the messages, but I just don't remember singing something in writing. All those things can be very balanced together, but but the singing is your primary. It's the thing. Your voice carries. It carries your intention, your energy. Again, if you're not actually singing, your music is going to carry you forward. But it's the most beautiful image I see of you. It's nighttime, there's stars all around, you're beautifully dressed, there's a drum, and you're singing your heart. You're singing everything that makes you feel, that expresses you, sorry. Everything that expresses you. And it has power. So keep that in mind. Your voice has power. Your music has power. That is your power. I hope that helps. All right. Oh, I'm so good. I'm so glad. Get out there and do it. I'm really, really happy for you. Thank you, Don. Thank you so much. I'll let White Eagle know he's amazing too. It's a beautiful vision. I hope you carry that in your heart. Okay, next is NASA. And let's see. Um, don't check it out. I'm so glad you're not chickening out. Thank you so much for sharing that. So, what message for Nasa? What spirit has for you, Nasa? Okay, let's find out. Um, let's see. Um, they want you to know, first of all, that everything's going to be okay. All right. I need you to know that, like, this is something that's coming to you very, very strong, and that all your worries and you have far more than your share. Um, they're all everything you worry about is going to turn out okay. There's no pending doom. There's nothing coming on the horizon that's going to destroy you or anybody you love. They're saying everything keeps going the way it should go. Everything is going in the correct way. Everything is supporting you and your family and everyone you love. So take a breath. No, everything is okay. You have you've been on high alert. And there's a term psychologists use. I don't know, crisis mode. I don't know, something like that. Um, for they're showing me like 30 years or more, and it's time to let go of high alert and breathe. There's no fires. There's no emergency. You don't need to anticipate the worst. Okay? So don't anticipate the worst. Instead, know everything is taken care of. When everything's taken care of, what do you do? When there's nobody who needs your constant time and attention and your energy of worry, what do you do? It takes a while to adjust to not being in crisis mode, but you really aren't. You're anticipating crisis, but you're not, but there's no crisis. There are some really interesting and joyful blessings coming your way once you kind of relieve yourself of the burdens. Thank you for that, Nasa. So, I want you to know that all is well. Put your feet up, grab a cocktail or popcorn, whatever's your comfort thing. Put your jammies on. Let yourself rest for a little bit. Okay? You're going to have a lovely time this summer, actually. You're going to have a lovely, relaxing. There's actually a trip coming up for you this summer. I see it. You're going on vacation in August, maybe July, August. I don't know. Either you're going on vacation or they're telling you to go on vacation. Plan something short and easy. Oh, Stephanie, for sure. You two girls need to go have some fun. Yes, absolutely. Off you go. Don't bother me. I don't want to hear from you until you get back. Just kidding. Always want to hear from you guys. But do have a lovely time. Absolutely. Okay, who's next? I think I lost track now. Um, so we have Nasa, we anything else? Stephanie, Nasa, Don, Sita, Kalyani. Anybody else? You do need to put your um you do need to subscribe and you do need to put your question in the chat and then I give you a message from Spirit, which I'm so very happy to do. I am doing a live stream next week, Saturday, also at noon Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. White Eagle, my guide, is going to be starting a class on the 14th, although I haven't put it on my website yet. Yeah, on the 14th, which will be Sunday, which is one of the reasons why I'm moving over to Saturday for the live stream. But he's going to be teaching about ascension and how to work with awakening and ascension and in a very practical, simple, easy way. He just wrote an article about it, and we'll be putting that on Substack. And that article will go on Substack in another couple days. I just need to finish defining it, or sorry, editing it, all that stuff. So even though he channeled it, I still have to put my 2 cents in and put my 2 cents in and edit it. Because sometimes he doesn't speak in complete sentences. So anyway, hold on a second. Let me just there. Okay. Boop. Anybody have any more questions before we finish? I don't know how you got here either, Dom, but I'm so happy you did. I am so happy you did. And I hope you're able to come to more because I love your energy and it's such a lovely, lovely thing to have you here. You're so kind, also. All right. Oh, Melissa is here. Yes, you can ask one more. We have time. I usually go for an hour and we have a small group today. So you're welcome to ask one more, but let me do Melissa. I'm going to also, if you want to send a tip, you're always welcome to do that too on Venmo. Is what I prefer, truly, or Cash App. Um, let's see, Melissa. Anything you need to know about your upcoming trip to Italy? Let's find out. Are you going with a man or a partner or a friend? I see a man with you. First thing pops right in. Oh, a group of friends. Oh, good. Well, you are going to meet a man there. I don't know if it's a partner, but you are going to meet somebody who's going to kind of be charming. Um, and flirty. No, come back. Because I don't know how serious this is, but it's going to be fun. I don't know how, like, if it's going to be like um, something that kind of opens you up to new relationships or if it's something that's going to continue on after you come back. Not really sure. They're showing me, I mean, when I asked about Italy, a man shows up. So have fun with your friends. Don't do anything risky. I'm going to give you all the motherly advice that I have. But you're gonna meet somebody you really like. Now, what I suggest is that you take it all with a grain of salt and ask for a lot of guidance and help. The reason being is we can get obviously pretty carried away when we're feeling romantic. So make sure you have all the safety things in place. But also, I think he's genuine, and I do think you're going to have a nice connection. But they're not showing me anything beyond Italy. Like keeping up the conversation beyond Italy. So it may just be a fun little thing, and that's good too, so long as you're safe. Let me ask more. It's gonna be a great trip overall, even without that. If that never happens, you're still gonna have a great trip. There's a place that you're gonna go that's, also going to be an acknowledgement of a past life or some kind of energy that you are really familiar with. Um, the time period will like, you'll start getting a little bit of past life memory. It looks like either It looks like a chapel, a small church, something like that you're gonna visit that you're gonna, "Oh my gosh," like, either "Get me out of here," or, "Oh my gosh, I love it here. I remember something from here." So either way, but there's gonna be a lot of memory popping in. So, if that makes sense for you. I don't know, I see you more on the countryside. I don't really see you as much in the city, like, the city's like a day or 2. Are you going to the country? I don't know. Anyway, okay. Let's see, Dawn. Um, there's a guy from my past. Would that be a bad idea? Ah, lovely Florence, by the way. Oh my gosh, Melissa. Okay, good. Have fun. Stay in the country is definitely it's gonna evoke a lot of memories. You're gonna love it there. But come back. You can go back again later if you need. Okay. All right. Good. Okay, good, Melissa. I'm glad to hear all that. All right, now Dawn. And then, we'll go back to Nathan. All right, for Dawn, yes, there's a lot of connection in that relationship, which I really respect and understand. But it's like you've gone this far and he hasn't. And what you want to retrieve from that relationship is no longer for you. So it's okay to reconnect and have a conversation and, see how you feel about him. But I don't see it going, I don't think it's right for you right now. I think you're entering an entirely different world. Obviously, new things are coming your way. So I think in that energy, there's someone there for you that will match that. A happy 50th birthday, Melissa, also. That's so exciting. Have fun. Okay, from NASA. Sun is in transition, things are not settled. Um, what they're showing me is asking him a lot of questions, like what he really wants from life, and but obviously in a place when he's not, when he's ready to answer, or give him questions to think about as far as his new direction goes. The next thing they're showing me is, do things that are with him that he loves to do. So if he likes, you know, I don't know, what a 19-year-old boy's like. Um, so whatever that is, like, get into his interests, ask him his interests, have conversations around them, help him define where he wants to go because there's something else in his life that he has not really validated that he loves, that he hasn't really explored, that he already loves and already does. You're welcome, Don. Well, tell your friends to come to me because I'll teach them how to be psychic. Then you'll have a bunch of friends that are psychic and you won't need me anymore. My favorite thing is to teach people how to be psychic because I believe that that is the thing to help us all. Okay, good work, Don. So for NASA, keep asking him questions. There's something else that the guides aren't telling me what it is. So, but there is another part of his life or um, something that really interests him that's going to take him in a new direction. I don't think it's going to, I think there's a lot going on. And this doesn't mean that he's not going in the direction that he was already going. It just means that there's something else he can focus on to not have the be all end all that one thing, you know? As I spoke of at the beginning, you have to define what's going to bring you happiness, right? So some people are really talented and good at something, but they're not happy doing it. So it doesn't matter how much talent he has. If he's not happy doing it, it's not going to happen. So what he needs to do is define what makes him happy. And it can be anything. I mean, I always go back to like Siskel and Ebert. This might age me quite a bit, but Siskel and Ebert, they made very good livings off watching movies and being experts in movies. So anything that brings you happiness, you can explore and lean into and get into, the depth of expertise in that thing. And I know he loves a sport. And if he were to, if that's the only thing, then there's so many other ways that he can go into that sport. And if he truly loves that sport, then just being, the star player isn't the only way to express his love for that sport. Also, though the guides are saying there's something totally different that he also could explore. Remember that it doesn't mean that he's not going to be successful in that sport. It just means there's more things for him to look at. And do your best to bring that out in him. Remind him of that. He's adorable, he's charming, he's kind, he's talented, he's even gifted. But he's in this decision place of choosing what he wants in life. Choosing what he really wants and not what other people think he should have. Or what he thinks would impress other people. So there you go. Good luck to him. And you, remember, all things are going to turn out well. All right? All right. Okay. That was for Nisa. And let's see. Yes, send your friends. Girl, Dawn, you're saying you're not psychic in any way. I used to think that too, believe it or not. But then I decided I was going to try to be psychic, even though I didn't think I was psychic. I bought a tarot deck, and here we are today. And I'm talking to spirit guides. and I'm helping people out. So I think everybody's psychic. You're welcome, Nathan. You two girls go have some fun. Nathan and Stephanie. I need to hear all about that. Okay. Anybody else like to share, ask a question? If not, we're going to quit a little early, but remember my little commercial for upcoming live stream Saturday and a class coming up on the 14th, which is it's going to be a Sunday morning. And so we'll see how that goes. I don't know if anybody's going to show up on a Sunday morning, but we'll see. Message me. You can always message me at Janet Kadow. You can message me here on YouTube, or you can call me. Um, Thank you, Don. I'm gonna just keep reading all your messages over and over again to pump me up before every single live stream. It's really helping. So my number is 619-866-4405 if you want to set up appointments or gas me up or whatever you want to do. And you can leave a message or text me there. You can email me, janet@janetkato.com. And that is all for today, I think. Thank you so much, Dawn. I'm just so grateful. Shouting me out on Facebook. And that's what you all could do too. You all can share these videos, share all the videos and or not, or do whatever you want to do. Subscribe, share, send me love. I love you back. Thank you all so much for being here. It's always a pleasure and a joy. Thank you, Sita and Dawn. And Stephanie, Nasa, and Kalyani, and Melissa. You guys are amazing. I very much appreciate it. Until next week, I'll see you then. Take care of yourselves. And I think we're going to end the stream. Thank you very much. Take care, everybody.